I'm going to start off tonight by talking about an album that came out in 2018 by none other than Sir Paul McCartney, Egypt Station. Now, full disclosure, this was the album that got me into Paul McCartney's solo career. I had not heard any of his material solo. I heard Wings, but I mean, as far as a solo artist goes, I have not heard anything like this by any artist today. This album, from start to finish, is incredible. It was widely regarded as one of the best albums of 2018. It should have been nominated for at least a Grammy or two, and it got no light at the Grammys. It received extremely well by critics, and then it vanished, unfortunately. I've talked about this album once before on our YouTube channel, and I've talked about how I love this album so much. I remember when they were first promoting it. The Paul McCartney's Instagram page, they wiped all of his posts off. They deleted all of his posts, and there was pictures of like a triangle with a circle around it, signifying, oh, there's going to be a new Paul McCartney album coming out.
Ooh.
And it was really something cool. I got to tell you the truth, Bill. This album is highly underappreciated by today's standards. It's that good of a record. Like, I just want to read off the track listing because it's so good. It makes me feel like I haven't heard an album this. I've not felt this good with a record, a modern record, in a long time. I streamed this album from start to finish. I have a CD copy of it that was released for free by because if you saw Paul McCartney the tours beforehand, they released this album straight to you on via your mailing address, and I got it for free. But I have to tell you, Bill, this album, it's a loose concept album. For those of you who are keeping track at home, it's a loose concept album. It's called Egypt Station, which is like a train going on a railroad ride, and it's stopping at different stations, and each station is its own song. So the opening instrumental called Opening Station is 42 seconds long. It sounds like you're in a busy section. It's just an instrumental that just sets up the mood for the album. I Don't Know is a great start to this album. Come On To Me is a funny, raunchy love song. Happy With You, one of the best songs he's done in his whole solo career. Who Cares What the Idiots Say? I Do. Yes, F-U-H, For You. That song, ladies and gentlemen, is a bop. I love that song. Confidant is a love song to the guitar. People Want Peace. It's about the Palestinians. Hand in Hand is like a wedding song. Dominoes. Back in Brazil is about his literally being back in Brazil. He played it live in Brazil too. Do It Now, Caesar Rock, Despite Repeated Warnings, Station 2 is another instrumental, and then it ends on the longest song on the record, the second longest song, with Hunting You Down, Naked, and Sea-Link, which is a melody. This album was his first number one on the Billboard 200 since 1982's Tug of War, Bill.
Really?
It was his first number one album since 1982. It was so good, and then everyone forgot about it. Well, I wanted to shed some light, ladies and gentlemen, and tell you all that this album is that good. You have to listen. If you're a fan of Paul McCartney, if you're a fan of like modern rock, if you're a fan of just funny pop rock songs, this is an album to check out. Egypt Station is a modern masterpiece of an album, and it got overlooked so quickly because it's a quote unquote new Paul McCartney album. Bill, have you heard this album before I go off on another tangent?
Unfortunately, I have not. But
damn you
told me about it.
It's so good. And I know you're a big Beatles guy too.
Yeah, because you know what? We've talked about before, late career hits are very rare.
Yes, absolutely.
Late career hits are very, very rare. Like, it's like, if you're someone like Paul McCartney, it's just, okay, we don't care about the new shit. Dance, monkey, dance. Give us
Yeah.
Exactly. give us the hits.
Yeah, give us Back in the USSR. Give us Band on the Run. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, when I saw him, I remember he goes, I get kind of a consensus of what song you're excited for and which songs you're kind of about. When I play like an old Beatles song, you get, excuse me, folks, I'm getting over something. Relax, not COVID, not COVID. But he gets his, you get all the lights out. But if it's a new one, it's darkest night out there.
yeah, and what Bill is referring to is the what do you call it? The phones come out for an old Beatles song, but unfortunately, when like a new song comes out, they don't record it. Well, I don't care. I recorded it for you and Come On to Me the most recent time I saw him. It was so fun.
When you saw him just recently,
I did. I saw him I saw him this year.
Play anything from Egypt Station?
He played 2 songs. He played the 2 big songs off it, which were Come On to Me, which he's been playing a lot since 2019, 2018. He also played For You, which I got to tell you, it went over so well. The audience didn't really know what it was, but I don't think he cared because he's like, look, I want to put music out. I want to play music live. That obviously not all of it because you got to have a good balance, but like I want to play music that I want to play live, not just what's commonly known as like Let It Be, Band on the Run, Live and Let Die. I'm so happy he played For You and Come On to Me. I wish he played I Don't Know because that's a really good song too. It's like I Don't Know is like a song about like struggling in the day-to-day life. It's just that good of a song. Like this album is so overlooked and I'm still hooked. I still listen to it and it sounds fresh. Still 2018, it's 2022 now.
Still,
it's that good, Bill. It's that good of a record. Like I'm surprised it was widely regarded as one of the best song albums of that year by critics. Like it got like huge critic scores and all this other stuff, but it just didn't stick around. Unfortunately, it's very, very sad. And Paul McCartney did like all this work with it. It's such a like it received a 75 out of 100 by music critics, and Rolling Stone gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's an incredible record, guys, and yet no one really cares a lot about this stuff because they love the Beatles, Wings, stuff like that. Whereas Paul McCartney, the dude has put out so much other good content outside of all that stuff too. Say Anyone? He has never played that live.
Say.
With the co-wrote with Michael Jackson one.
Yeah, he doesn't play that anymore.
He's never played it, which I'm surprised at.
Well, maybe because Michael Jackson is no longer with us, that could have something to do with it.
That could be a factor as well.
And
I don't know.
But it does have I think it also has to do with the fact that Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney weren't exactly on the best terms.
That is true.
Because of the whole Beatles catalog.
But we're not going to get into that. But look that up online if you haven't looked that up. It's really interesting.
When Michael Jackson bought all the Beatles songs, and him and Paul McCartney were not exactly on speaking terms after that.
Yeah, they were not on the best terms.
Yeah, he goes, "Hey, Paul, guess what? I just bought your songs." But yeah. I don't know if Paul now has the rights to the Beatles songs. Do you think he does, JT, or how?
I mean, I don't know if he does, but I will say that buying them back though in astronomical figures is ridiculous because he wrote them for nothing, and now he's just like, I want to buy a Hard Day's Night for $500,000. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's interesting. But Egypt Station, though, check it out if you have not heard Egypt Station by Paul McCartney. This is a fantastic record, start to finish. A friend of mine who lives kind of far from me. He said when this album first came out, this is the only thing he listened to for like literally weeks. It's that addicting. It's that good of a record, guys. If you like Paul McCartney, you like Beatles stuff, there's some Beatle-y type of songs, there's Wings type of songs on this record, but it got overlooked completely because it's a brand new album from him. It's one of his most recent releases. So, but it's that good. Paul McCartney, thank you for putting out this album. Seriously. So that's my first pick is Paul McCartney's Egypt Station from 2018.